go. How's it going, everybody? What's going on, chat? Welcome to Mels Just4Bad, or Mels Shady Just4Bad Sportscast. How's it going, everybody? We're here with Lamb. We're here with Shady, also known as Hiatus. How's it going, guys? How's it going, fellas?
Going good.
It's doing amazing right now, man. We doing
That
great.
reaction towards the mic.
I know, right?
We're doing great right now.
He is ready. He is ready.
Ooh.
Oh my lord, that
He
was
is
funny.
ready. Look, ever since Sunday, this man has been waiting.
No,
Waiting.
And everyone's chat on stream too, guys. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Oh,
no.
oh man.
So, a lot to talk about, guys. We're going to start off with the World Series because that's going on right now. Game 6 is currently on. The Rays are currently up 1-0 in that game on the top of the 6th. The rookie Zanara made history last game off of Clayton Kershaw, actually, with 27 postseason hits, passing Pablo Sandoval with 26 back in 2014. He's also a rookie. He has the lone run in this game with the home run right now. Hiatus picked this series to be closed out 4-2. I picked it to be closed out in a gentleman's sweep 4-1. I was obviously wrong because we're in game 6 right now, obviously. And Hiatus has a opportunity to be right in this situation. Lamb, what did you predict in this series? I can't remember.
I predicted that the Dodgers would win. I did not predict a specific game split.
Okay, fair enough.
But in my mind, I did not expect for Tampa to win 2 games for sure. I wasn't expecting that.
No, I wasn't either, and that's why I picked the gentleman's sweep. But as of right now, this game is a very low-scoring game. Already in the 6th inning. Like I said, lone run by the rookie with the home run. Not looking so hot for the Dodgers so far. They're getting pretty shut down, and the Rays are being shut down besides the lone home run as well.
So Melby, I want you to say it again. In order for the Rays to win,
They need to win. They had to have 6. But, man, it is the outcome of this game so far.
it'll come down to the 9th inning, and somehow, some way, they get 2 runs, and Rays can't. And that prediction of 4-2, just like the Lakers in Miami, will probably be true tonight. Just gonna go out there and say it.
The Dodgers have utilized 5 pitchers already, guys. 5 pitchers.
You're not safe with a Uno run.
Tampa is still on their starting pitcher, and he has 9 Ks off of only 69 pitches.
I would be
No
shocked.
walks.
I would be shocked and surprised if they're able to hold them out and win this game
He
with
is
only
shutting them
one.
down right now.
With only one. I would be shocked. Then we would have to actually have that conversation of, can the Rays really do this? Can they really upset fate?
And then Kershaw can only come out of the bullpen in Game 7 because he just started last game. There ain't no way he's coming back off of 2 days rest.
True. So it's once we get into game 7, it looks very, very interesting.
It's gonna be very interesting. And Rays will technically, even though it doesn't really matter because there's no situational home field advantage in this right now, but the Rays will technically have the bottom of the 9th in Game 7 if it comes to it, because they will be the home team in that Game 7 if it goes to Game 7.
They have utilized that in the past.
They've utilized it fairly well so far.
So, I mean, sheesh.
What are you thinking, Lamb?
What
are you thinking, Lamb? I know you want to say something. I can see it.
If it goes to Game 7, I just don't believe that it's supposed to go to Game 7. It would feel like
don't
a
either.
setup to me, man. Like
It really was not supposed to go to Game 7 at all. At all. Like,
I'm gonna have
completely
very mixed
surprised
emotions.
me.
Yeah, if it goes to a game 7, I'm gonna have very mixed emotions about this. I'm gonna be like, all right, what's really going on? Like, come on.
The whole series changed when the Dodgers blew it with that 2 errors in the same play, and the
At
Rays
the end
came
of the
back and
game.
won that game.
Yeah,
This is true.
The
that was
whole
insane.
series changed after that.
That was insane.
But the last game, I mean, what was it? I think it was like 4-2. Like they cruised to the win easy last game.
Yeah.
Uh, so that's what I'm saying. Uh, you're not really safe with that Uno.
You
I
also
mean,
had
if
Kershaw pitching in that game too, so you're kind of expecting that no matter what.
facts. But yeah, I mean, if they're able to hold this off, like you got to give your pitcher props, bro. You
Mad
gotta,
props.
you gotta,
Snell is
Yeah.
you
pitching
gotta
a
give,
hell of a game right now.
yeah,
Like
you gotta give him
his
props
stats are
because
unbelievable. 5 innings. He's only given up 1 hit, no runs,
that's
no walks.
insane.
He's got 9 Ks off of only 69 pitches, and 45 of those are strikes.
That's
That's
insane.
He's
ridiculous.
missed 24 balls and has yet to walk a person. That is utilization. Like,
Yeah.
You know what that is? That's he put on them Mortal Kombat 3 Jax arms. He put on them metal Mortal Kombat 3 Jax arms. Remember when Jax used to pick them up and go?
Yep.
He said, "Gotcha." That's what he's doing with those arms, bro. That's what he's doing.
Definitely going down, man.
My man Vicious in the building.
I'm honestly
Shout out.
thinking this is gonna go to a game 7, guys. Yeah, big shout out to Vicious. We made plays with him earlier, guys. Lamb and I, we made plays in some PvP earlier. Big shout out to Vicious. But that the way the Rays are pitching this game, and like I said, the Dodgers have already utilized 5 pitchers, so you already know that bullpen's on the slim side already. Tampa's got their whole bullpen to utilize still, and they've got the lead, so they can honestly take this dude until he even gets a runner in scoring position and be like, all right, let's start warming somebody up. So I mean, right now it's 2 outs, top of the 6th, about to go to the bottom, so we'll see if they keep him in there to go in there. But like we're all talking about, we're big surprised that the Dodgers are in this situation, and the Rays are about to tie this series up. It's looking like.
We shall see.
Big
Yep.
time.
I was wrong about the Lakers. I thought the Lakers franchise would go to 7 games. And y'all was right. Y'all were like, no, they're going to close it out. I was like, they should rest AD.
Not in that situation.
Nah.
They definitely would have went to a game 7 if they rested AD. A lot of news on football over the last weekend, guys. A lot of close games. Couple of upsets. And a couple of unexpecteds that we didn't see expecting to happen at the same time either. We'll start off with the first game, Lions and Falcons. The Falcons had the perfect opportunity to close this game out. They gave it to Todd Gurley. He got the first down. And then realized, oh, hey, we got the ball. I got the first down. I need to go down so we can waste the clock. And he's already on the goal line, basically, and falls on the goal line and scores a touchdown. Lions get the ball back. They drive down the field, score, win the game. Terrible clock utilization, especially by Gurley. He was on a Super Bowl team at the time, so you know that's already in your head that you've got to utilize clock, and you know what you need to do, especially a running back when you're in a goal line situation like that for a game-winning score and a game-winning drive.
See me positioning myself? Y'all see me positioning myself?
Lamb's been on his toes about this one, guys. So he's about to hop out his chair. So Lamb, let's hear it, man. What do you got to say about this one?
Hey, last week, chat, for all those of you who weren't here last week we did the picks, and we're talking about the Falcons versus the Lions, and I am gonna give I am going to tell you where I agree with Melby and Hiatus. We all agree that the Falcons, with Julio Jones back, are a better team.
Yes, by far.
It's
he opens everything up for everybody else.
He does. When he's on the field, it's just ridiculous. But I had said last week that there's only one team since the second week, since week 2 in the NFL, that is their defense has progressively been getting better and better and better, and that was the Detroit Lions. So when we did the game picks, Hiatus and Melby said they were going to go with the Falcons and thought I was crazy for picking the Lions. Who won that game, by the way?
I said that you can't ever count out Matthew Stafford. You do have to give me that.
Who won that game?
The Lions did win that game by a point.
Let's go! Let's go! Look, I'm flying, y'all.
This guy over here.
Hey,
I'm letting him have all his moments.
Salud! Salud!
All his moments.
Cheers.
Shady.
Hey, one down.
Yeah.
You and I both picked the Falcons in this one, man. What do you got to say about the outcome in this one? I know you're very disappointed, and I saw you shaking your head when I was talking about the Todd Gurley situation at the goal line. So, what do you got to say about this one?
This, like, bro, literally, we have seen 3 people, at least so far, that are Super Bowl caliber veterans do something that is just stupid. We had Tom Brady not knowing what down it was. We had Aaron Rodgers with a fantasy of 5, like, and now we got Gurley. Like, you didn't know that was the touchdown. You didn't know that was the goal line. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing, bro? And then, like, you know, all right, I'll give you the fact you're a running back, so you're used to running downhill. You bust through, and so your natural instinct is to score. But why would you jump forward? You could jump to the side. You could just fall
backwards.
Why would you jump forward? I'm like, bro, I'm sitting here watching this going, why? Why? It doesn't even make sense.
Do you remember the Cowboys game?
If
the Falcons versus the Cowboys?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
No. Like,
do you remember that? Bro?
Listen, what in your body says, you know what? I'm going to stop running, but I will lunge forward, and I'm sure I'll be short. Man, get out of here. Why would you take that risk? Oh, my gosh. Oh. I'm watching it. I'm like, they got this in the bag. They got it. Possession.
Yep, I said the same
they're
thing.
on the goal line. They got it in the bag.
I was watching that game so close.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, is this what it feels like to be a Cowboy? Like, is this what it feels like to be a fan of the Cowboys right now? Like, ugh.
What is that supposed to mean?
I'm dead.
I mean,
what is that supposed to mean?
Y'all had some meltdowns.
Hey, you can say the same thing for my Patriots, man. Look at what we've done the last 2 weeks.
Hey, first of all, if that's not what it feels like to be a Cowboys fan, we ain't been close. The Falcons were close. We ain't been close. We ain't been close.
The key word.
You gotta get close to feel let down. You gotta be close to winning to feel let down.
Listen, I know we're gonna get into it, man, but there are some games this week that just ripped my heart out. I was like,
and we're gonna see the outcome of that here in a couple of minutes, chat.
Oh man.
Big disappointment in that one. I couldn't believe the outcome in that game whatsoever.
The football gods aligned.
Yeah.
Like they did in that Cowboy game. The football gods aligned, and they looked at Atlanta and said, no.
No, no, no.
They said it quick. No.
Bro. Like, literally when we think about we mess with the Seahawks all the time about the pass versus
we do mess with the Seahawks.
Right? So we mess with them all the time because it's like you literally just gave the game away. All you had to do was run it in. This is one of those situations I would have rather y'all just pass it because at least the wide receiver would have had sense to just catch it and drop. Like I'm like, what are you like? There's nothing you can say when you go back to the huddle. When y'all go back and watch film, everybody's just gonna look at you.
Yep.
Like there's
They're gonna
nothing
turn
else
around
to
at you and be
say.
like, dude, bro, what were you doing?
Right, right. It's like so
And
you didn't know where the goal was.
what important person on the Falcons team is no longer there that's been there even for when they went to the Super Bowl and they've been having winning seasons? I believe they lost some type of important coach or
Yeah,
coordinator.
Kyle
didn't they?
Shanahan is now with San Francisco.
Correct.
The offense has not been the same
Correct.
ever since.
Correct. They're making bad decisions. It's not the defense.
Look how
Atlanta's
open
never
Julio
really had a
Jones
strong
was when
defense.
Kyle Shanahan was there.
Bro, all these mistakes are on the offense.
Yep.
Yeah.
All of them.
All of it.
All of them.
I mean, their defense is terrible due to injuries, but
their defense was terrible.
Yeah.
Even with Shanahan there.
Yeah.
But they were still winning games. They were still dominating. We used to look forward to see the Falcons versus Drew Brees. We used to look forward to see the Falcons versus Cam Newton. You know what I mean?
Right. Facts.
All these mistakes are on the offense, bro. Every single one of them. Every single one of them.
Next game on our list, guys, Browns and Bengals. Bengals almost came out with that one. We do have a key aspect that came out of that. Odell Beckham Jr. did go out in that one with a ACL tear. He's done for the year. Lamb was talking about this before. We seen when Odell Beckham's been out on how much smoother the offense looks, and we saw that after Odell Beckham went out in the first quarter. Opened everything up. Baker Mayfield hit the tight end for 2 touchdowns. You didn't have to utilize a Kareem Hunt like you've had to utilize in the last couple of weeks. He had like 80 yards rushing, and then he did his role in the receiving game. Everything just spread open in that game for them once Odell Beckham left that game. And I don't know if that's going to continue to be that way. We'll see that in the foreseeable future. But that was the big key in that game. We all did pick the Browns in this game. The key aspect was because Joe Mixon was out in this game as well. Bengals did almost take this game. They almost did. Burrow's been looking really good, guys.
He's going to be so good. He's going to be so good.
He threw the ball for 47 times, guys, and only missed 12 passes. He completed 35 of them for over 400 yards and threw for 3 touchdowns. Dude's going to be really good, and once he gets some weapons and he gets Joe Mixon back, and hopefully he can utilize A.J. Green some more, they may be dangerous in the next couple of years if they can build around him and get some weapons. And their defense has always been somewhat good. It's always been respectable. But they need to build an offensive line now for Joe Burrow. Now they see that he's consistent. He doesn't turn the ball over. And they've already got their running back, obviously, in Joe Mixon. They've got their quarterback now in Joe Burrow. They literally just need to get him a receiving core and an offensive line. And they will be a force to reckon with, and a very hard division to win in already.
Correct. They're going to make it even more competitive than that division already is. And I'll tell you what Cincinnati has to do. They got to get the O-line first.
Exactly.
You realize what happens. I'm going to explain to you exactly what happens when you have your franchise QB, but you do not draft an O-line for him for years and years and years. You end up with Andrew Luck. Okay?
Yep.
You end up with a team who doesn't build an offensive line. They just rely upon the quarterback. Quarterback will carry us to the playoffs every season because he's that good. We don't know if Joe Burrow's that good yet, but man, he's definitely showing that he has potential to be that good. But if he keeps getting hit, if he keeps getting sacked, if he keeps getting slammed into the ground, if he keeps getting his confidence down because of loss after loss after loss, losses, they make you lose faith in your teammates,
which
they
he's
make you
not
lose
used to.
faith in your defense, and they make you lose faith in your coaching staff and their ability to put the tools around you that you need to be successful. All we need as humans in this life, even in our regular workaday jobs, is the correct tools to do our job. Joe Burrow does not yet have the correct tools he needs to do his job.
No.
Indianapolis now, and I've said it since stream number 1, the Colts have the best offensive line and the best defensive line in football, but it's too late because your franchise quarterback has had enough. Andrew Luck is retired, Indianapolis. He's had enough. He got hit too much. He was beat up too much, too many injuries because y'all refused to jump into free agency. Y'all refused to start drafting sooner. You still went after running backs and all this other stuff, bro.
And look
and
how their offensive line is now after Andrew Luck retired.
That's what I'm saying. They went after defensive linemen. They went after running backs and stuff. But now Andrew Luck is gone, and you have the best offensive line in football. Yo, there is no reason why Indianapolis Colts should have won any game. Phillip Rivers looks like trash out there. T.Y. Hilton
really
is a joke.
I'm surprised he got that job, honestly.
T.Y. Hilton
Jacoby
is a joke.
Brissett really wasn't doing that bad when he was there.
T.Y. Hilton is a joke. Marlon Mack is injured. Why do they have any wins? Because of their offensive line. That's why they have wins. If you give Joe Burrow an offensive line already with Tyler Boyd, already with Joe Mixon, already with AJ Green, who him and Joe Burrow, the chemistry starting to come together, by the way. Oh my gosh. You have
AJ did have a decent game this last game, and it was good to see.
AJ Green is progressively catching more targets. He's progressively catching more targets each and every week.
I'm just hoping he can stay healthy.
But you have to give him an offensive line, because if you don't, by the time you build that O-line, Joe Burrow's either going to be going to another team, or how long before he breaks a collarbone? You know what I mean? How long before he tears an ACL? Like, look at everything that Andrew Luck's been through. Andrew Luck loves football. He never wants to not play football, but he's looking at his family. He's looking at his mental health. He made the right decision.
Yep.
Don't let Joe Burrow get away, Cincinnati.
What are you thinking about this one, Itis?
I think Lamb said it all.
They're a good squad if they get an O-line.
Big facts. This next one tore my heart, chat. Tore my heart. Tennessee and Steelers.
Woo!
This one tore my heart. Tennessee. So, first off, Big Ben goes down the field. They're in the red zone. Throws the third pick of the game, which I called it. I was like, if Big Ben throws 2 interceptions and Tennessee has the ball, they're winning the game. Tennessee gets the ball back after his third interception. Basically, A.J. Brown goes down the field by himself, and they get in field goal range. Plenty of time left. Tennessee has a timeout to use, and they rush a field goal, blow the field goal, and they lose the game.
Kicker through. I'm sorry.
First off, my question is, you were on a Super Bowl caliber team and winning team with the Patriots and won multiple Super Bowls with them as a defensive coordinator and as a player on defense. And you don't call a timeout to give your kicker time when there's plenty of time on the score and you have a timeout to use. That completely blew my mind by itself. Like, you see it all the time. The defense will either ice the kicker, or if the offense has a timeout to use, they'll go out in the field and they'll use that timeout anyways and let the clock wind down and give the kicker a little bit more time to either get himself together or take a breather, this, that, and the other. So, my question to you two, why didn't they use that timeout when your kicker's already been struggling for the year one? He's missed 3 field goals before that 4th field goal and a couple of extra points on the season already. So why don't you utilize that timeout and give your kicker a little bit more time to gather himself when he's already been struggling this year?
The kicker has one job.
Just one.
I
Hey,
mean,
Mel.
the thing is, we can make excuses for the kicker all day, every day. Like, why didn't you call a timeout? Oh
Sorry.
man, you got one job, bro.
Yeah,
Like
it's true. You got one
all
job.
you
Put the
do
ball
is
through
kick
the
field goal.
uprights.
That's
That's
it.
it. Bro, that's
all you gotta do.
in practice.
And speaking of putting the
You
ball
don't
through the
have to
uprights,
bench
did you
press.
guys see that one game in college where the ball hit off the upright 4 times and didn't go through and fell to the ground?
Not seen that.
Weird.
Completely heartbreaking. Please look that up and watch that field goal. It goes off the top right upright, bounces off the goalpost, goes off the left upright, back off to the goalpost, and then drops to the field.
Feels bad. Even feeding more off of what Hiatus just said. You had one job, and Raiders, you'll appreciate this. Like, people think if you're a goalie in hockey and a goalie in soccer, you have one job, but you don't.
No, you don't.
Okay?
No,
Goalies have to do
different
a
story.
whole lot.
Mhm.
Their job
Yes.
is not to sit there and block goals. They are the vision of the whole rink or the whole soccer field. They have to make plays. They have to know where to get the ball. They have to know positioning. They have to know who's coming, who's going. As a kicker in the NFL, you ain't got to worry about none of that.
Nope.
You ain't got to worry about the defense. You ain't got to worry about if they're returned. You don't even have to worry about a blitz. You're not even supposed to be looking at that. You have one job.
One job.
One. Just one.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you do in practice. Kickers are not doing tackle drills. All right? They're not doing bear crawls. They're not doing push-ups. Maybe push-ups for every kick they miss. But they're not running 5 miles, bro.
They're in the weight room, taking a couple of laps, and kicking footballs. That's it.
Kickers
Yep.
kick. That's what they do. That's all they do. They're not even supposed to do a whole bunch of leg exercises because it could throw off their kicking ability. The same way Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, look at their arms, y'all. They're not doing curls for the girls because it's going to throw everything off. They're just not. You're not supposed to do that. As a quarterback, protect your arm. You throw in practice. You don't get hit, you throw. You scramble, throw. Three drop step, throw. 5 drop step, throw. Shotgun, throw. You get the ball out. You feel the pressure coming. You move around in the pocket, and you get the ball out. You escape if you have to, but you get the ball out. It's supposed to be a quick thing. Kickers, you have one thing to do.
Snap, 2 seconds,
You don't
kick.
have to hike the ball. You don't have to call an audible. You just run and kick it. So you know what the hard
You
job in
basically
that whole
take
thing
3
is?
steps and kick the football.
Bro, you know what the hardest thing to do in that play is when your team's going to kick the ball? Catching a good snap and placing it down. That's the guy who has the hard job, okay?
Yep.
Ridiculous.
The hardest issue that a kicker faces is wind. That's it. Adjusting to the wind. So I am a lot harder on kickers when it comes to football because, again, you only have one job. You only got one job to do. So I'm not blaming the coaching staff. I'm not blaming a timeout. I'm blaming you as the kicker. You got one job to kick it through the uprights. If you can't get that done, we need a new kicker. Like, I mean, it's that simple.
And I'm surprised they haven't released him yet.
Yeah, if you can't do the one job we pay you to do, then we need to get somebody that can. And I don't think them calling a timeout would have helped him psychologically, because that's typically what the defense does. They call to ice it to make you overthink it or to be overconfident, and then you miss it.
Right.
So even if they had a call the timeout, he still was going to miss it. Like, it has to do with his confidence and him believing in his leg. Like, the offense did everything they could to get them there. Have you ever seen, and this normally plays out, especially with kickers, when an offense marches down the field but they can't get into the end zone and they bring the kicker out and then the kicker misses it, and you see how nobody says, "Come on, kicker, you'll get it next time." You see how they look at them like, bro, you got one job. You got one job. Like, I'm not finna cuddle your emotion.
Like when Cody Parkey missed that field goal for the Bears and everyone looked at him.
Dude, That was heartbreaking, bro. That was heartbreaking. Hey, everyone in the United States of America wanted Chicago to win that football game.
Yes, they did.
Everybody did, bro. Everybody rallied behind him. But that's, I don't even know. I still have mixed feelings about that because I don't cut him. He was still the best kicker in the NFL that league. I don't cut him for that one kick, but that's the big kick. And also, at this same time, in this Tennessee-Pittsburgh game, when you really have something to prove, if you're Mike Vrabel, you're the head coach and that happens, I'm looking at my special teams coach. I'm not even going to look at the kicker. I'm looking at my special teams coach. Special teams coach? It's not like we're running back punts for touchdowns, right? So what the hell have you been doing, bro?
You're right.
We have our kicker missing multiple kicks. Okay? Multiple kicks, not just this one. If we have our kicker throughout the season missing multiple kicks, if we're running back, if our special teams is scoring and we're running back kickoffs for touchdowns and punt returns for touchdowns, that's one thing, right? Miss the kick, whatever. But we're not doing any of that if we're the Tennessee Titans. So if I'm Mike Vrabel, I'm looking at the special teams coach like, why is our kicker missing kicks?
And the sad part about it too is that if you look at his stats, 55 and over for field goals, he's 5 for 5. He has multiple field goals missed under 50 yards this year, which is very unacceptable. And I want to say that game winner was like a 41 or 42 yarder, if I remember right.
You got one job, man.
One. And man,
Sorry.
Let somebody pay me millions of dollars to kick a football through a goal.
What?
I will never miss, coach.
Right?
Automatic. Automatic.
Never.
Automatic. Now, if special teams come in and they're able to block it, that's not on me.
That's a different story. That's a different story.
If my foot hits that ball, it is going through the uprights. That's all I gotta do.
That's all you're supposed to do.
Job.
Yep.
That's it. And I got no excuses.
None. Zero, coach. I will own up. I'm not missing no kick for $1 million.
You're right.
Exactly.
I'm not missing no $1 million kick, bro. I'm not
Next
missing
game
no $1 million catch
guys.
either. Just so y'all know.
Yeah, right. Next game on the list, we had the Saints without their two best wide receivers in the game. They ended up pulling out that game against the Panthers 27-24. Panthers are still without Christian McCaffrey. But it was a fairly close game in this one. I wasn't expecting it to be this close. I believe we all picked Saints in this one, didn't we?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Outcome of this one, Alvin Kamara was pretty held to a reasonable standard. He only had 80 yards on the ground. Drew Brees, pretty respectable. Almost 300 yards, couple of touchdowns. And Teddy Bridgewater pretty much had to utilize everybody to even keep this close. They're saying Michael Thomas is going to be out again this week because he re-aggravated that hamstring injury. I'm not sure if he's going to be good to go this week again. And I haven't heard any news on Emmanuel Sanders either. I'm pretty sure he's still questionable as well. So I'm not sure if they're going to be with their two top wide receivers again this week. It's going to be very interesting to look at. Any big outtakes on this game on your guys' standards on this one? Pretty much what we were looking for.
I don't trust Teddy Bridgewater, and I said it.
He did say it, Chad. He did.
I don't trust
Teddy Bridgewater.
If it comes down to Teddy Bridgewater versus Drew Brees, I'm picking Drew Brees every single time.
Facts.
Sorry, not sorry. Like, I knew going into this that they didn't have a shot in blank.
Yep.
But they put up a fight. I mean, I'm not going to knock them.
Like I said, I was surprised on how close it came out to be.
Yeah, I'm not going to knock them for their attempt. But at the end of the day, I don't trust him to get it done. He doesn't have that instinct that says, if you give me the ball with 2 minutes or a minute on the clock, I will get this done. He doesn't have that mentality. So if you don't win it before the game is over, you're not going to win it at the end of the game, which that has already been proven. He's already had his aha moment where he could have won a game at the end and could not do it.
Yep.
So I mean, good fight. You still lost, but I mean, I guess confidence booster for maybe next week. I don't know.
Lamb?
And even though Alvin Kamara only had 83 rushing yards, that was on 14 carries. He's
Yeah,
averaging
true.
almost 6 yards per carry. And then I believe he still had 65 receiving yards. So the man still got 150 yards
Mm-hmm.
from scrimmage. And just like all three of us talked about, you're going to take the better quarterback and you're going to take the better running back.
Yep.
And we took the team with the better running back and the team with the better quarterback, and we came out on top.
Facts.
But yeah, the Panthers they're a joke without Christian McCaffrey.
They
And
are.
even and Christian McCaffrey's let's be clear about this too, because Christian McCaffrey's only going to be able to win them a certain amount of game. Right?
Mhm.
Big time.
He's not going to be able to take them to
And they're in a
10
tough
wins,
division.
to 11 wins, or to 12 wins. He's going to win them a certain amount of games on one screen play or one, you know what I mean, flicker or something like that. But this team is relying on the back of Teddy Bridgewater, and it's not a good bet. It's not a good bet.
And I said it in the beginning of the year, too, that they only had Christian McCaffrey. And as much as they utilized him last year, is going to be the same utilization this year, if not more. And Hill's going to get hurt. And we still haven't seen a return of Christian McCaffrey yet. And they're saying there was a possibility of week 8, but I haven't seen any good news about it yet. So it's looking more like week 10-ish that we may see Christian McCaffrey. So
he went to the practice, but he did not practice.
Right.
Now I'm just gonna be honest, because Panthers my team. I'm gonna be honest. This year, we just put people in place to entertain. That's what we did. We brought in Teddy Bridgewater to entertain.
Right.
We had no chance of going anywhere. Our team got completely dismantled.
It really did.
Quarterback on, defensive players, key players out of there, or retired, or
retiring
right. Like there was nothing about the team that would incite people to go see it. So then you bring in a Teddy Bridgewater who's like a poor man's Cam Newton, and you go, "Hey guys, look, we're still exciting. Come on, we can do it." And that's literally what it has been. It's been like, it's been a short circus for the Panthers. Like,
right.
Yeah, you'll get a couple wins because it's any given Sunday, but we know you're not going to do anything. It's more so just to keep the fans from a boarding mission with the way that they dismissed and let Cam Newton go. And that's really where it is. I don't foresee, unless the team, for some miraculous reason, just goes on a tear and starts winning and gets them in position. But there's no reason to bring McCaffrey back this season.
No, there really isn't.
There's no reason to risk that injury. You might as well just let him sit out. And that's why there's no pressure for him to get back out there and play. This is the Teddy Bridgewater show, short circus, where all the fans get to laugh and feel like we had a shot and blah, 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 blah. And then next year, off seasons, they'll work on it and try to get, everything back. But it is what it is, man. It's a whole circus that's going on right now. And like, this is the reason why I'm very selective on picking them. Like, they could be playing the Jets, and it's hard for me to say, are they going to
You know how hard that matchup would be to pick?
I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't trust him. Like, I don't. So
nope.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those seasons, man. It's rough.
And speaking of the Jets, they played the Bills in this next game. We all said Bills in this game. But I brought up the fact that the Jets had the possibility of beating the Bills. And they had the possibility of beating the Bills. They had the ball they had the opportunity to drive down the field, and they couldn't even do it. They had the possession, couldn't drive down the field, and ended up losing it. So Josh Allen had 307 yards and didn't even throw a touchdown in this one, guys. Like, This is how wild this game was, and he was the leading rusher for them at the same time too, with 61 yards. Jets are slowly starting to trend down, guys. Slowly starting to trend down. If they can barely beat the Jets, it's not looking good for them for the rest of the year. If they can barely beat the Jets.
The Jets never had a shot at this game, okay? And the Bills are trash. I've been saying the Bills are trash since the beginning of the season. They're trash. They stomped on trash teams, and every time they play a good football team with a good winning record, they get smashed on.
Yep.
They're smoking mirrors. They're flash in a pan. They're the Wizard of Oz, and it's really just a little man behind a curtain. You know what I mean? Little man behind the curtain. Josh Allen's stats are going to keep declining. Stephon Diggs is not a primary wide receiver. Why would y'all even do that? Y'all need a better running game.
Yes.
If your best runner only has 60-something yards and he's the quarterback, you're failing at life.
And they drafted a running back this year, too, and they've tried utilizing him, and he hasn't done much any better than Singletary's done. And unfortunately, it's looking like they wasted that first-round draft pick and drafting a running back this year, and it's not looking like it's going to pan out for him. So they definitely looking to drafting another running back in this next season and a wide receiver on top of that. Their defense is fine, but they need work in those two positions for sure.
So because we are talking about the Bills, let's see here.
Did you Google garbage? Because if you Google garbage,
I know, right? And try to put it next to them and see what it said. But no, I like this whole questionable thing with Josh Norman. Like, is this a mental thing that's going on with him?
I still don't understand that either.
Like, I'm
trying to figure out as well.
Tell me what injury he suffered. Like, is this anxiety? Is it depression? What is it?
There ain't no reasoning still. It literally still
what
has
is
him.
It?
He's questionable again this week.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I'm literally trying to figure it out. Like
I don't know what
you didn't want to play against the Jets? The Jets? The team that hasn't won anything? This is your moment to go out there and try to at least salvage some of your image
let
after
you
what
talk
happened
that
to you.
game again for a little
bit.
Right.
Try to get a good play on ESPN, bro. Why are you not playing? This was your week.
Right?
Like, I could understand with the tight end because they did have COVID issues where they tested positive, but ain't nobody said Josh Norman tested positive to COVID or was
none of that nature.
In the way of COVID. This man just after getting stiff arm just went on injured reserve. Like I'm trying to figure out how does that work? Like, can the Bills get their money back? Because what are you doing? What are you doing?
Refund.
What are you doing? Look, this is stuff that happens in the NFL. You win some, you lose some, but you live. You live to fight another day. Like, what are you doing? Look. I can say this from experience because I had this horrific experience. Got dragged into doing talent show with my favorite cousin, and we did this talent show. And because he was the main singer, I was just backing him up. Long story short,
sing right now. Right now.
No. Long story short, Brandon High School was there. They decided this was an Armwood event, so rivals, so they booed us, right?
Oh,
yeah. So they booed us. They booed us on the stage and everything, right? I came to school after the talent show. I faced all the scrutiny, took all the jokes. My cousin, however, all of a sudden got sick. It doesn't go away unless you face it, bro. Like, you can't run from embarrassment. You gotta face it head on. So the longer
You
Norman
can leave town.
out.
You can leave the country. Never come back after what happened to you. Now
Right,
you're shame.
listen, you gotta face it head on. And so
Yeah.
week over week that Josh Norman is out of the lineup, what do we remember? Him getting stiffed armed by by Henry, and we haven't seen sight nor hair of him since. Like, bro,
And
you
I
can't. There's
think the tweets got
no
to
way.
his head about he needed to retire at halftime.
There is no way for you to blow it off. You have to address it head on. And the only way you're going to do that is on the football field. Stop running from the game.
Feels bad.
And I speak like this because he was a former Panther. Like, stop running from the game. You left us because you thought that you were the be all. You
We
were the
talked
new
about that last
Panther.
stream too.
All right. So this is your moment.
Yo.
Get out there and prove it. Stop running. I know you're here, Josh. I know you're here. You hear me.
He pulled
Get
a layup.
Get out of that bathroom and get your butt back on the field. Jeez, bro. I kind of feel like in this weird scenario, because right now the Buffalo Bills are atop their division. And let's say for some reason they're able to.
The Dolphins are winning that division this year, I think.
But let's just say, for the sake of imagination, they're able to toggle their way through and they win. I do not want to see Josh Norman in a playoff game.
I
if you're
don't
not going to
either.
help him during the regular season, bro, don't come back in the playoffs like, now I'm good. You've been
right
for weeks for an unknown mystery alien condition, bro.
He has Throvid 19.
Bro.
He has
Throvid.
Exactly.
Wow.
He got that Throvid 19, bro.
Exactly, bro.
That's too funny.
Hey, new word, y'all. Y'all heard it first on
Throvid. We're trademarking it here on podcast chat.
Exactly.
Throvid.
Jeez, man. Sorry, I just had to say that because
funny. That's hilarious.
Name and questionable. I'm like, you're not hurt though. You're not hurt. You're not hurt, bro.
I'll wait till we get to that game to actually talk about it. But remind me of this moment right here, because I got something to say about a future game we're going to talk about here in a little bit.
All right.
Our next game is the Redskins and Cowboys, guys. Redskins throttled the Cowboys. Andy Dalton took a nasty hit in this game.
Next topic.
Pretty much got no respect from his teammates whatsoever, unfortunately. They only managed to put up 3 points against the Washington football team. I keep saying the Redskins because it's so hard not to say the Redskins. But they got throttled.
Yep.
They let a rookie running back and a very unsuccessful quarterback beat the Cowboys. Lamb, what do you got to say about this, man?
I got to
25-3.
Okay, 3 things here that I think all 3 of us have pretty much agreed on since Dak got out. Number 1, tank the season, draft a safety, rebuild your offensive line.
I don't say draft a safety, but you definitely need offensive help and defensive help, yes.
How many
you need corners, too.
A safety, yeah, but we need a safety, bro. Everyone is throwing deep on them. Okay?
But that also comes from a good pressure corner at the same time, too. You ain't going to get those deep balls if you got a pressure corner.
I don't like one-on-ones. We drafted the boy from Louisiana a couple years ago, and he was a bust. I don't like you don't draft corners in the first. You get us a safety in the first round, and let's get the offensive line. That safety, he's going to watch everything back there. If you get a good safety, you can go cover 1. You feel me? Like, you can go cover 1. If you get a Troy Polamalu, if you draft someone at the height of his game in college, at the safety position, who's shutting down everything, and he's got to be from the SEC, because let's just be real. I say we do that, and then we have to rebuild the offensive line. the offensive line has been the only reasons the Cowboys ever win a football game.
You guys
The
got to be
reason
able
why,
to get quarterback pressure though too. That's why I say you need help on all defensive side.
absolutely, but the Dallas Cowboys are not a defensive football team. In the NFL, out of all the teams you look historically, there's defensive football teams, Chicago Bears, San Francisco 49ers, and then Raiders. And then there's offensive football teams, Indianapolis Colts, the New England Patriots, the Minnesota Vikings, or whatever. The Dallas Cowboys have always won games and had positive seasons when we have a strong offensive line and we double the time of possession of the opposite team.
Right.
We let Zeke or who was that our other running back? I don't remember his name.
Pollard?
No, it was from years back when we had Tony Romo. He's the one who gifted new MacBooks to the entire offensive line because he appreciates offensive line. Zeke, can the offensive line get some love, bro? Maybe they'll block for you better, bro. But anyway, like the Cowboys need to just wash. And the only story here is Dak Prescott, after seeing all this nonsense, does he even still want to be a Dallas Cowboy? Because if I'm Dak Prescott,
going free agency.
I don't get my money in the offseason. I hold out. I come back just because I am a team player. I do everything Jerry Jones tells me, even though maybe I want to kneel because of the Black Lives Matter movement and because of how certain incidences have portrayed on the media that we're being treated in this company. But I still stand for the American flag. I don't have any felonies. I don't have any assault cases. I don't have a drug charge. You know what I'm saying? I'm not out getting drunk, partying in Vegas. I'm not holding out from the team and off in Mexico, partying, pulling girls' tops down. You know what I'm saying? And I still come back for the betterment of the team. And then I get injured without my contract that I should have stayed holding out for. And then I'm just watching with my personal trainers and my physical therapist and my chiropractor, and we're training and resting the leg and everything like that. And I see all of this going on. And then Jerry Jones has the princess. You're going to like this because this is a wrestling phrase. The testicular fortitude to say that there's not a leadership problem. Jerry, whatever you're smoking, I'm going to need bricks of it. Okay. Because you are super high, bro. There's problems all along. You got Mike McCarthy. Nobody wanted. He was unemployed.
Nobody. He's like Cam Newton. Nobody wanted him.
Nobody wanted him, and you got him. And then he picks up a defensive coordinator. Was it just me, or was the Cowboys' defense better before they got here? It was better. It's always been horrible, but this is ridiculous, bro. The Giants almost beat us, bro. The Giants without Odell and without Saquon, okay? Sterling Shepard and Daniel Jones almost beat us with Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, and Ezekiel Elliott. The whole organization, it's a wash. It's a wash. The players, they don't want to play for Mike McCarthy, and they've lost all respect for Jerry Jones.
Oh,
these players are not going to play. And if I'm Dak Prescott, reject everything that comes your way, and you take your chance in free agency. Put Dak Prescott with the Carolina Panthers. Put Dak Prescott with the New England Patriots. You have two totally.
You need to get him some wide receivers first because we don't have any right now.
I'm just saying, Dak can get it into Julian Edelman. Dak can get it into and with all those running
Edelman's
backs,
about to retire though.
Dak is a more accurate football thrower than Cam Newton this year, and he'll be in a weaker division. Look what Dak was doing pre-injury, even in this horrible division. Right? He was the number one. He was the number one QB in the NFL until he got injured.
It up.
He was number one. Put him with the Patriots and let him go against the Jets and the Bills and the Dolphins all season, bro. You're talking about an MVP candidate. Ridiculous. Dak, don't even come back to Dallas, man. Don't even come back. I wouldn't. If I was you, I wouldn't. I'm sorry. I would not.
I wouldn't either. It's not worth it.
Nope. Not until if they fired the head coach, then I would. The head coach has got to go.
Which a lot of people are surprised that Mike McCarthy hasn't been fired yet, actually. I give it at least 2 more weeks before he's fired. Even though
So
he
let,
just signed a 5-year deal,
But
he's going to get fired this season.
This is Jerry Jones.
let,
Jerry
let
Jones
me
is going to ride with this guy for another 10 years, for Christ's sake.
let me ask this question of these Cowboys, because we're not really talking football here. We already know that they tanked it, but there's a more pressing issue because I love these little one-off situations like we talked about Tom Brady not knowing what down and all that type stuff, like these quirky things that happens that should not happen.
Right.
Like you're playing the Washington football team, you get demolished 25-3. Your defensive coordinator, while doing a report, rubs hot sauce in his eye. Was he eating wings? I'm sorry, like I'm trying to figure this out. I'm really trying to figure this out. Hot sauce? Hot sauce? Where did you get hot sauce from? Were you like seriously? Did you go? Well, the game's over.
We just only scored 3 points.
Exactly.
Let me go get some hot wings.
Let me go get some hot wings. Can you explain that, Lamb? Like, help me out here. I'm still trying to figure out how Nolan rubs hot sauce in his eyes, and they say it's an accident.
Oh,
how did you procure hot sauce?
The only accident I need him to have is for him to prick his finger on the end of a spin wheel and fall into a deep slumber until true love's kiss wakes him up. That's the only accident I need that man to have. Okay? Prick your finger on the spin wheel, slip on a banana peel, like do something. Do some type of fairy tale deep sleep nonsense and jump off a bridge quick.
Oh my gosh, bro.
Because I can be a better
hilarious.
defensive coordinator than you, bro. I'm sorry.
I mean, for me, I'm just trying to wrap my mind around the fact of, like, even giving that excuse. Sorry, guys, I can't start. I just rubbed some hot sauce in my eyes.
Hey, quickest way to get out of an interview.
Like, what?
Certain things you say, no one's going to question. I rub hot sauce in my eye. They're going to be like, oh, my God, go rinse that eye out.
Right.
They're not going to be like, wait. Why is your defense trash? They're not going to say that. They'd be like, "Oh my gosh, someone get this man some saline solution."
Oh my gosh, I was trying to figure it out because I could understand in the age of COVID, rubbing alcohol or something like that, some sanitizing equipment, and you forgetting and rubbing your eye and it get into your eye and it irritates, and I can get that part of it. I just don't understand where he got hot sauce from, that it got on his hands for him to be able to rub it in his eyes. Yeah. That's the part. Like, nobody's saying that he was eating hot wings. Nobody's saying where this mystery hot sauce came from.
Yeah, I still don't understand that. That blows my mind. Like, how's that even tolerable? That's the first thing you're going to do after a horrible loss to arguably probably one of the worst football teams in the league.
He's just
and you're going to go straight to eat some hot food.
Look at here, boy. Okay. It ain't my fault, okay? I just got here. This is my good, okay? Give me some more wing sauce, boy.
Oh my God.
It ain't my fault.
I'm dead.
Okay? First of all, where's Dak? Where's Dak? Okay?
Oh my God.
Snacking on wings, man.
That's too funny.
That is crazy.
So, our next game, guys. Hiatus and I took a horrible loss in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible loss. We took a little bit of a stretch on this one. We both picked the Texans to beat the Packers. I already know Lamb waiting on it. He waiting to pop up out the chair, guys. Yep. Let's hear all this Green Bay nonsense that you want to give us. Go ahead. Let's see it.
Before he starts, before he slides, and
He's like, hold on, before he pops out.
before he pops out, I want to tip my hat off to the Texans. They didn't lay down. They did fight. It was an actual really good game, all around. They did get dissected by Aaron Rodgers. However, they kept in the game. They did not fold. They did not quit, and they did fight to the end. So
They did.
I definitely have to salute them on that. And that's all I wanted to say. Go ahead, Lamb.
You're shaking the camera. There's an earthquake happening right now. Oh my god. Hey, I said it, didn't I? Hey, hiatus.
Yep.
Real close.
Yep.
Let me show the earring too, bro.
Oh my god. Oh, I gotta deal with this now.
Let's shake it on there.
This is Lamont we're seeing, chat.
Yep.
I said last week, stop playing with Aaron Rodgers. I said the Texas football teams are a joke. The Houston Texans are trash. The Dallas Cowboys are trash. The best Texas football team is a high school football team. The second best Texas football team is also a high school football team. I said Aaron Rodgers is going to come up. He's going to come out and he's going to pick apart that defense. And that's exactly what he did.
Yep.
The Houston Texans have lost their second best player. Deshaun Watson is definitely their best player. Y'all said J.J. Watt was their second best player. Where is he at? What happened? What was J.J. Watt in that game? Second best player on the team? If J.J. Watt's their second best player on the team, y'all are the Houston Texans fans are in real trouble. Because they no longer have D-Hop. D-Hop could have made that game way more interesting than it should have been.
Mm-hmm.
He could have drawn a double team every single time, and then what do you know? Will Fuller, Brandon Cooks, David Johnson, Darren Wall. He could have made that game way more interesting. Without DeAndre Hopkins, the Houston Texans will never beat the Green Bay Packers. Okay? That's how bold I am. Aaron Rodgers will never lose to the Houston Texans unless they get another DeAndre Hopkins. It will not happen. Aaron Rodgers is too good. He's too good. We spent the majority of last week talking about this here. People in chat were even against me saying that I'm crazy. Where's it at? Let me see the comments now. Let me see them.
He's been waiting for this specific game all week, guys.
He's
been waiting on this specific game all week long. Because Hiatus and I have been up Aaron Rodgers' ass pretty much the entire last 2 weeks.
We still got another game to talk about.
Like I said, this was a game for Aaron Rodgers to lose. And he had every reason to come out and show, he was still kind of broken over last game. Now, this is what I will say. So this was a game of halves. The first half was all Green Bay.
Yes.
They jumped out to a 21-0 start on them, and this is what I was saying. This shows the fortitude of the Texans because they could have folded at that point
they
and been
like, whatever.
Game's over. But there were 3 key possessions that kept the Texans from winning this game, and they all came in the fourth quarter. They got a field goal that was 38. That had they got a touchdown, that is 27-35. They got it back. They marched down, got even closer. Hit a 29-yard field goal, which would have given them 34 to 35. So those 2 key possessions where they walked off with field goals instead of touchdowns is kind of like the deciding factor.
Right.
Green Bay did is come back down and secure it with another touchdown, and then they were able to, the mercy score at the end of the game. But this is a different game,
Guy's
and we're
face.
talking something different. If on those two possessions they were able to find a way to get them into the end zone, this is a completely different game.
Right.
So that's why I said they fought to the end. They didn't have enough. They did get beat by Aaron Rodgers. I'm not going to take anything away from him. 4 touchdowns on 283 yards is nothing to sneeze at. And he did not throw an interception. So he played as perfect of a game as you could play. So I'll let Lamb gloat in the moment. I'll let him gloat in the moment. But those two possessions, we could have been having a different outcome and a different conversation. So I understand that they were only 1-5, but they had every opportunity to win this game.
The Houston Texans never had a chance. The Houston Texans lost this game as soon as Aaron Rodgers got off the plane. As soon as he showed up in the stadium, this game was over.
This guy is such a Aaron Rodgers fanatic.
No.
You sure act like it.
Who hates Aaron Rodgers more than a Dallas Cowboys fan?
You act sucks like an Aaron Rodgers fanatic. That's ridiculous.
No. What I'm a fan of is being
This guy will agree with me.
What I'm a fan of is being correct. I don't care who the quarterback is. But I told you. See? Hey, hiatus. You remember next Friday? You remember Baby D? See, I done told you. I done told you.
Like I said, I will let Lamb gloat. I will not say anything. He did call it. He did say Aaron Rodgers was going to have a big game.
He did.
Like I said, I felt in my heart of hearts that this was going to be one that he was going to choke in, but he didn't. So salute to Rodgers for proving me wrong.
Against the Houston Texans.
Yes.
I love hiatus, but not a thing.
Yes.
Is that vet? Nah, vet. Oh, wait, vet. It depends on what kind of sedations you have. If you send stronger stuff, I'll keep going ham, bro. Send the strong stuff. Right?
Our next game, guys, we have Tom Brady against good old John Gruden and the Raiders. It was a fairly decent game to start off with. It was a decent game to start off with. And then Brady just said, no, this isn't happening, and I'm going to throw for almost 400 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah. Brady said...
The running game was non-existent whatsoever. And
Brady said, who are y'all talking about for MVP? Yeah, my name's not in the conversation. Let me remind you. Allow me to reintroduce myself. He hit him with that Jay-Z. He was like, I'm Tom Brady. I never needed Bill Belichick. That's what he said, bro. That's what he did. He said Belichick needed me. I
think I called this when we spoke about this, that if we see the same semblance of a defense that we seen from when they tore up Aaron Rodgers, that this game was going to be, it wasn't even going to be close.
Right.
And that defense showed up. The defense showed up. Tom Brady did what he did because he's getting comfortable at his favorite target in Gronkowski. And now you got others getting involved. So, they have it set for them to literally be able to come out of the NFC. With the addition of AB to this roster, it's going to be very hard for you to stop them. And if their defense can continue to play,
you imagine when he comes not this week but next week on what they're going to. That's going to be ridiculous.
It is. This can almost turn into what the Warriors were for the basketball world, because it's just going to be unfair. Who are you going to guard? Who are you going to put on this player and then this player and then this player? Because they got so many weapons. I don't think that Tom Brady has ever had this many weapons that he can utilize. Like, the man got a whole tool belt. He's borderline Batman right now.
That's true. I agree. The only thing I would say, he's never had this many weapons. The only thing I would say is let's wait a little bit. okay? Because Antonio Brown works well when he's the best player on the team. He is
And
no
he's not
longer
going to
the
be the
best
best
player on
player
the
on
team.
that team.
He's going to be the third best player on this team. I would say maybe even
Maybe
tied for
even the
fourth.
fourth, honestly, because
Yeah, that's all. Like
you
maybe
got
even tied
Brady,
for fourth.
you got
Yep.
Mike Evans, you got Leonard Fournette on that team,
Yep.
and then maybe an Antonio Brown at that case.
And well, Tom Brady's better than him. Tom Brady's definitely the MVP of that team. But I just want to see, because just like y'all mentioned when we were talking about the NBA, and I'm so big on Kevin Durant, but y'all feel like Kyrie Irving's going to be the cancer. Antonio Brown might be the only problem that this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team actually runs up against. Let's see how he works well, because Mike Evans ain't no punk. He ain't gonna take that. Leonard Fournette will fight dudes on his own team. So Antonio Brown's not gonna go in there with his rap albums and swagalicious, because there's players on that Bucks that are dogs. Okay, they are dogs. They're not pushovers.
And
He's
we've
not.
seen Antonio Brown on how he acts when he doesn't get his reps and his receptions, and how he acts on the sideline and starts calling people out and this, that, and the other. So it's going to be fairly interesting because they're going to have. He's got two wide receivers and Gronkowski that he's got to deal with for receptions, on top of Scotty Miller been showing out. And then when OJ Howard comes back, he gonna get his touches. And then you got the running game at the same time. So I mean, where do you even fit in Antonio Brown right now in this case?
Hey, the way you fit in Antonio Brown is mentally. How many teams are now shook? They're like, holy.
He hadn't
balls.
played in a while though. What kind of caliber is he even gonna be in? He ain't gonna be in no football shape.
Day. Antonio Brown practices every day, bro. I'm on his Snapchat. He
I know. I see his
every
videos,
day.
but
every day.
So
I don't. He ain't gonna do anything, in my opinion.
Let me interject right here, because I hear what Lamb is saying in regards to Antonio Brown's outside persona. But let me just give you facts of what Antonio Brown went through. Antonio Brown last season had an opportunity to go with the Patriots to a Super Bowl, and he blew it.
Blew it.
At that moment,
he blew it, or some random thought came out of the woodworks and accused him of something that still hasn't been
nothing been approved yet, so we still don't even know.
You
got like three other cases on top of that hasn't even been proved yet.
It's just like what we say with 6ix9ine. You put yourself in that situation, you got to deal with the consequences. So he had a perfect opportunity for him, with the Patriots, and he thought by name, because he was still hot and popping when he went to the Patriots at that time. And so he thought, look, there's no way they're going to get rid of me, even with this nonsense. Like, I'm going to be a part of this franchise. And then they cut him. And it's been a long road for him to get back and get on a team. Yep. And it just so happens that it's a Brady team. Come on, bro. He's not coming in there with
the second Brady team.
Yeah, bro. He is not coming in there with no toxicity, because he wants a ring. He wants a ring at this point, because that's the only way that he can get his value back.
Your cam freeze up, Lane?
Mine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
There it goes. It was all glitched out. That was weird.
Yeah, I put my phone down on top of the USB cord, and it kind of took it halfway in and halfway out. You hear that, Vet? It halfway in and halfway out. Vet will appreciate that.
Look, but that's what y'all get for talking about Grindr.
Wow.
Premium, Grindr Plus, Grindr Premium. I don't know which one it is. But so let's say they do fit in Antonio Brown. Before we move on, what's a team in the NFC that can stop the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
There ain't nobody at this point, not on offense or defense. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know who you even want to say. Well, the LA Rams. The Rams.
Oh my gosh, I know it.
The Los Angeles Rams would be able to stop them. And also, I'm not going to sleep on a healthy defense and a returning Michael Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders with Drew Brees at the quarterback. I'm not going to sleep on the Saints either. They have great linebackers and they have great cornerbacks as well. I'm not going to sleep on a full healthy New Orleans Saints or a full healthy LA Rams,
That's if
bro.
they can get healthy.
Exactly. But the thing is, New
And
Orleans doesn't have
has
a
the
pass
air
rush.
cleared with Michael Thomas and that organization on what happened? We still haven't heard anything
Yeah,
about
we
that.
don't know anything. We don't know anything. But I'm just saying, if they were healthy, because remember the NFL season, it's about getting hot at the right time, right? The Saints have been banged up. It's about
They
time
have.
that all their pieces start coming back in. The San Francisco 49ers have been banged up multiple times. It's about time for all these pieces to start coming back in and you see them win games. I think the best games of the season are going to be the two games we see in the NFC with the Rams versus the 49ers. Because those are the matchups that I cannot predict the winner. Because you know how I feel about both those teams. I think they're solid and I think they're playoff. I think they're NFC championship contenders on offense and defense because on those two teams, they're so well built. The only problem I see with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is Tom Brady's going to have to throw. He's going to have to throw. He has to, right?
Now with the
It's
dual
built
threat
around.
running back system that you got, like, hey,
No, no.
you're
But
meaning you're not going to give Leonard Fournette the ball?
no, you are. But when you have Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Andrew Luck, even though he's retired, you're going to throw the ball. That's how your team is built. That's how your team is built. With Drew Brees, you're going to throw the ball. But hold on 1 second. The 49ers do not have to throw the ball to dominate a football game. Their defense can score just as many points, if not more than, and the offense can too. The running game. If you can't stop the run, that's you can't win a football game. You can stop the pass all you want, but if you cannot stop the run, you cannot stop the football game.
Right.
The Rams can win games through running. The Rams can win games through passing. Jared Goff can dump off a quick 400 yards and 3 touchdown game if he has to. All right? And they can win with their defense. Those are two teams that can win with their defense without their quarterbacks having to throw 52 times a game. They can hand off.
I don't have trust in the LA running game, honestly.
Dude,
it's
LA
been too
running
inconsistent this year.
I think the Rams and or the 49ers would be, and the 49ers with Nick Bosa. Because we've all seen what happens, Tom Brady the whole time with the Patriots. If Tom Brady's back there running for his life, he's a different quarterback.
No, it's over, yeah.
Aaron Donald will be able to bust through that Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive line and get to him on almost every play to where they have to start sending double people, maybe 3 people to stop him, and that's just going to leave another side open. And then you got Jalen Ramsey out there, bro. I'm telling you, the Rams are going to create a problem for any team in the NFC. Any team. Because of Aaron Donald. He's a problem. He's a big problem.
I'm still taking the Bucks, but okay.
Yeah.
I'm not giving it.
I'm still taking Bucks as well. There ain't no way the Rams are beating that team.
That's what y'all said about the Houston Texans. That's what Hiatus said about the Cleveland Browns. That's what Melby said about the Tennessee Titans and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Who should have won that game?
Take the same stance. Take the same stance.
Yep.
Take the same
yes,
stance.
I am. I'm not trusting that the Rams
will not put no respect on the Rams, y'all.
Are not. No, I will not.
I'm not either.
I will not.
Zero.
They're a good football team, bro. They're super balanced. If their offense doesn't get it done,
no faith in that run game.
Can catch a pick 6 like nobody in the league, bro. Like nobody in the league, bro. That's how good the Rams are, man.
Next game was a blowout, chat. Chiefs Broncos 43-16. Philip Lindsay is out for the next couple of weeks. So it's going to be Melvin Gordon in this one if he can come back from his issues. I'm not sure if he's going to end up being suspended or not. We still haven't heard anything about that yet either. But as far as that goes, who's going to be their running back for the future? Because Lindsey's out. We still haven't heard anything on Melvin Gordon. Not looking
Royce.
good for the Broncos. Broncos got smashed. They looked decent when the last couple of weeks, but it's not looking good for them anymore, especially without their two main running backs anymore. Chiefs manhandled them completely. They didn't even really have to try, honestly. It was bad. And it was kind of like the next game with the 49ers and Patriots. My Patriots got manhandled. Like,
But we all predicted that.
probably the worst loss in Bill Belichick's history of coaching for the New England Patriots. We couldn't do anything. They benched Cam Newton in the third quarter
Bill's horrible.
after 3 interceptions and didn't even pass for 100 yards.
They said, Cam, sit the flip down. What are you doing out there?
Is standing back there like, ha hike. Where do I throw this to?
I know the other team. Here
Like,
you go.
it's terrible. It's
Bro.
bad. Cam needs to be benched for the rest of the year. We need to go with Jared Stidham. Cam is not the problem solving to our issues at all. At all.
Stidham and Danucci for the Cowboys.
For
y'all.
us to
What a
lose
weird
back-to-back
thing.
games, I was good. That says I thought Melby froze for a second.
Hey, Matt, tell me why I did too. I was looking at all my computers.
I pulled that off so
he
perfect,
frozen?
Chad. That is
He was
hilarious. Oh, that's great. But
Yo.
I called it, guys. We don't lose back-to-back games.
Sunshine,
And
what's
I
up?
said it, and I chose the 49ers in this one and said we were going to lose this game. And that's not like me. And we have a possibility of even losing this next game, honestly. We're that bad right now. Outtakes of this game. Mostert's out for the next couple of weeks, so their run game is going to be hurt again. Jeff Wilson is also hurt. He's not going to be available with a high ankle sprain. So they're on third tier and fourth tier running backs, basically, because everyone is hurt in that run game. On
Feels
top
bad.
of inconsistency from a Jimmy G. So that's going to be interesting on that 49ers offense for the next couple of weeks until they get healthy again.
Jimmy G being inconsistent is his consistency.
It
Does
is.
that make sense?
It is. I
him
can
being
agree with you on that.
inconsistent- Yeah, that is his consistency. So Jimmy G is literally being exactly who they drafted him. Well, not drafted, who they traded for him to be. But that running game, like you said, Melby, that's going to hurt him because
It's
the
going to
49ers
hurt them
are-
big time.
They're an all running team.
They're an all running team. They're a three-headed monster at that run game, and all three of their running backs are currently hurting out. It's
feels
not looking good for them. And if they're going to have to rely on Jimmy G, it's not going to be good for the 49ers. Obviously, Kittle's going to get his damage done. But who else is going to
McKinnon
be
is
able to
good, though.
step up besides their rookie wide receiver who's had a couple of good games this year?
McKinnon is good. Debo Samuel's still a joke. He's
I
still
think
a meme.
McKinnon's hurt still, too.
Really?
Yeah, their whole running core is hurt.
That's tough.
Their whole running core is hurt. They're on their fourth string running back right now. He's projected like 10 point something fantasy points this week because everybody is hurt in that run game. It's bad. This next one we all chose in this one as well. Chargers over Jags. I believe we all chose Chargers in this one, right? If I remember right, we all chose Chargers.
No, you chose the Jags.
I
Me
chose
and
Jags.
Hiatus
Okay, I
covered.
did take a loss in this one. I had faith in Gardner Minshew, guys. Gardner Minshew is no slouch, but Herbert has been showing out. Like, that dude's a good rookie. Him and Burrow have been pretty consistent this year. And you got to give Herbert props because he should have a couple more wins under his belt. They blew the Kansas City game that they should have won. And there was another game they should have won too, and I can't think of it. But Chargers have a good key spot, especially when they get healthy, because their running backs are hurt as well. And their defense is already solid. So if they can get that core together and get Herbert a couple of more receivers or even maybe a good tight end at that, they'll be a team to reckon with in the AFC West, in my opinion. And I don't think anyone can really downside that, honestly.
Hiatus, I'm gonna let you go first on the Jags versus Chargers. We are both right, so it don't matter. But I'm gonna let you
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, there really wasn't much to say. Nothing about the Jaguars and who they played showed me that they would be able to beat the Chargers, and I was correct. So, um, and that's, I mean, pretty much the argument when we did the last podcast was that they haven't really faced anybody that would tell me that they could stand up when they needed to stand up. So,
Right.
I
They've
just
lost
believe,
almost every game this season.
yeah. So I trusted my gut instinct on that, and I'm glad I did because, yeah, I mean, it's a Florida team right now. The only team that we can support is the Bucks right now. I mean, let's just be real. I mean, I understand Miami's doing their thing, but Miami still has a way to go. Even in their division in the games that they're playing, so it's not guaranteed that even they can pull it out. So the only team right now in Florida that we can kind of root for would be the Bucks because they're the ones that stand the best because they're in a division where they're going to be challenged. You're going to have to play quality teams for the most part coming out of that division. So we'll see.
Yeah, the Chargers won that game because of their defense.
Yeah, like I said,
They
their
have,
defense is
yeah,
key.
they have a better defense. Joey Bosa's a problem over there. And the bright spot of the Jags, by the way, I like Minshew. I like DJ Chark. I like James Robinson. I like their undrafted rookie running back who had like 35 fantasy points this week, who balled out of
Went
control,
off.
actually. But Herbert is so flipping good.
That dude's he's good. He's
That-
right up there with Burrow. Burrow and Herbert
Bro.
have impressed me the most so far this year.
LA and Cincinnati, they have their freaking franchise quarterbacks. I'm sorry. That Herbert and Burrow, that's some good looking football they're playing. That's some good looking football those boys are playing. Man. Real good.
This next game was really good, chat. This was the only overtime game of the week. Cardinals and Seahawks. Tyler Lockett had himself a field day. He had 15 receptions for 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. Russell Wilson had 388 yards through the air, and all 3 touchdowns went to Tyler Lockett. And he was also the leading rusher because Chris Carson got hurt.
Who had him on the fantasy football team? Who's now tied for first place in the first Guardians ever fantasy football team?
Hey.
This game, the Cardinals pulled this off somehow, and I don't know how they managed it. I really don't. They also lost Kenyon Drake in this game as well. He has a ankle sprain, and he's going to be out for the next couple of weeks, so that's going to hurt them. But how'd the Cardinals pull this off, guys?
I'll tell you, Jamal Adams, that safety that Seattle picked up, out with injury.
That can't be the only key reasoning, though.
That is the only reason Kyler Murray was able to hit that pass. That is the only reason. Who's a better safety than that man in the league right now? There ain't no better safety in the league right now.
Oh my god.
You need to read Vet's comment.
Oh my god.
No, I see Vet's comment. Y'all don't gas him up. That was that funny? If that was that funny, ooh, Vet, you need to do stand up and put Hiatus and Melby in your audience.
Oh my god.
Oh my lord. Are you serious?
If that was that funny, you need to get them a 2 drink minimum and put them in your audience. That's how I feel about that.
Yeah, JJ is actually beating you, Lamb. I gave JJ his only loss this year.
Yeah, overall.
Yeah.
I'm still tied for first, though. And
No, you're tied for
JJ's
second.
in his own division. He's AFC.
Oh,
I'm in the NFC.
No, we're going overall. You can't count that.
Oh gosh.
This is overall. Back to the game,
Where
chat.
are you overall?
What are your
Melby?
guys'
That's what we
stats?
want.
And we
Where's
already
your
know
score
Lamb's
overall,
stats
Melby?
because he says Jamal at hiatus. Where are you at with this one, man?
Look, this one was heartbreaking.
We all picked Seattle on this one.
Yeah, it was heartbreaking to watch.
Melby, you picked the Cardinals. You won this
Yeah,
time.
Did
you
I?
did.
I
Yeah,
swear
you
I
won this
picked that.
one.
I swore I picked Seattle.
No, you
No.
picked the Cardinals.
Wow,
Bro. You
all
won
right.
this one.
Yeah.
Victory, chat.
Yo, deception.
Yeah, this was bad for me. I don't know how they pulled this out. I really thought with the performance that Russell Wilson put up that they would have been able to pull this out, but somehow, some way, Cardinals hung in there and they walked off.
He's gonna be MVP this year.
See, here's the difference. Remember how we were just talking about the kickers having one job? Now imagine if that kicker misses that kick in an OT situation. This is what I'm talking about. I don't give kickers breaks, bro. You got one job.
One job.
One job.
You got one job.
Kick the football through the upright.
Bro, that's what this came down to. It came down to OT and a field goal, bro. March close enough to kick a field goal and take it home. And that's exactly what they did. So my hat goes off to the Cardinals for pulling this out. They did notch Seattle's first loss, and I think that also helps Seattle because now they don't have the added pressure of being undefeated, so they can kind of relax now and just play their style of ball. Because when you have that donut next to your name, it's a lot of pressure because you don't want to lose. You want to be that team that goes undefeated, and sometimes you make dumb and stupid choices and play calls trying to just get the W, and you end up with an L. So I think this won't be too much of a setback. It was a really good game. Came down to OT. They both played great. It was more of a testament to Arizona's fortitude than Seattle, because we knew Seattle was going to do what Seattle does.
They always do. You can't ever count out any Pete Carroll team.
Facts. But Arizona showed them that they can run with the big boys, and salute to them. Hopefully they
looking
keep it up.
dangerous.
Seattle should
Hopefully they keep it up, man.
They should have 2 losses right now.
They should.
They should. Yes, that Minnesota game and this one they deserved.
Pittsburgh should have a loss right now too.
Yes,
This
they
is
should.
true.
They by far should have lost this past weekend.
Yep. There should be
no reason they shouldn't have.
There should be no undefeated teams in the NFL right now. None.
Well, Tennessee would be because of their win, but they should have lost a game earlier this season. Last game
they
of the
should have
week,
lost
Chad.
against the Houston. Was it the Houston Texans who almost came back and beat the Titans?
Game.
Yeah, they
Mhm.
should have lost against Houston. Houston came back like it was Aaron Rodgers knocking out the Cowboys out of the playoffs. They came back and scored so many damn touchdowns. It was ridiculous.
That's why I said they almost did it. Those 2 possessions, bro.
I
We're
don't
talking
even
about
want
a
to talk
different
about
game.
this next game.
We're talking about a different game.
Shady, I don't even want to talk about this next game.
Yep.
Can we just pass this?
Yup.
Can we just? Yeah, he agreed.
I don't even want to talk about this next game.
Let's just pass it.
Go ahead, Lamb. You got the floor.
So for those of you who were in last week's broadcast, okay, we decided to talk about, because for 2 weeks in a row, I've had this one team in my power rankings, the LA Rams. And I've been saying for weeks now that they are one of the best overall balanced teams, from coaching to offense to defense, period, in the entire league. And they're majority healthy. They don't really have a lot of injuries on their team either. So they're playing with the majority of their starters, which is also key. The LA Rams. And I've been getting so much hate. They've been laughing. They've been making jokes, teaming.
Hey. Hold up.
They can reach their hands through different webcams and high-five each other.
Hold up.
Point at me.
Hold up.
But
We're missing. This is like huge. This is huge. I apologize. I know you were gloating, but this is huge.
don't tell me the Dodgers are
The
losing.
Dodgers won.
The
Oh,
Dodgers won
boy,
the
come
World
on!
Series,
I
chat.
told you. I told you. 4-2. It is literally Lakers, Miami
And
all
we
over
stated
again.
this in the beginning before the World Series
That's
even started.
crazy, bro.
What a
Told you.
coincidence would it be
Told
if the
you.
Lakers won 4-2? And I said this immediately after Hiatus picked his prediction
The
of the
reverse
series
Kobe
being
jersey
4-2. I
The
was like, I
reverse
immediately
Kobe jersey
said,
number?
what would be the coincidence that series would end up being the same as the Laker Miami series?
I told you. I called it. 3-1. They won 3-1.
What a coincidence.
And I told you that they were going to come back and get their runs in because they could only put up. You can't hold down a game with just 1 point. Sorry. It's not happening. So shout out to them Dodgers. They got they pennant.
Finally, after failing the last 2 times they were there against the Red
got
Sox
their
and the
pennant.
Astros.
Dang, Melvin, you be hating. Melvin's like, finally, after they threw the last 25 years.
It's facts, though. They've been there 3 of the last 3 years.
Oh, yeah.
Or
No,
3
that's
of the
true.
last 4 years.
But like I said, with baseball, shout out to them because the best team in baseball, I feel like, won. They had
No,
the
yeah,
best
they were
overall
definitely by
squad.
far the best baseball
Right.
team this year.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. It didn't feel rigged or anything. It felt like literally the best team won.
He can say it didn't feel rigged, but all I know is the minute
That was
that they
rigged.
showed, the minute that they showed Kobe on the sideline rooting for the Dodgers, I already knew they were going to win, and I already knew what the outcome was going to be.
That's how I
It
felt
was
about the Saints
easy.
during Hurricane Katrina. I was like, oh, here we go. Gifted Super Bowl. It's exactly how I felt.
Yup.
I hate to feel that way, but that's exactly how I felt. Just like here in Texas, Hurricane Harvey, I'm like, oh, Astros going to win the pennant.
Yep.
Like, just gifting out.
Yeah.
Gifting out stuff.
Here,
It's
natural
something
disaster.
to happen,
Here, we'll go ahead and give you a world championship this year.
This is true.
Right?
So at this point, because of these two, that does make California the city of champions right now because
City
they're
of
they got
champions.
two.
Yep.
Ugh, that don't
2
even
out of
feel
4.
right. California ain't no city of champions.
So our overall record, guys, since this past week was our first record week of doing this, Lamb finishes up top at a 10-3.
Hold on.
We'll let him gloat for a second.
Hold on, because I want to see if he catches on to what's happening here. Who are you gloating about?
The Rams beat the Bears.
Okay, and they are what? What's the name of that team?
The LA Rams.
Oh, okay. So are we about to see another LA team?
Yeah, I was gonna say, is this gonna be?
I'm just
Hold
saying.
on.
Saying.
Well, we have 2 LA
You know
teams. We
you know what's
cannot.
scary?
We can't count out the second one.
That's scary though, because I think the Rams are, and I've said it before, I think they're a championship team the way they're built. Dude, if the Rams win the Super Bowl and the if LA wins the Super Bowl and no, that cannot happen. You know what I mean?
I'm just
That
saying
that
it is
cannot
literally
happen,
set up. The only reason they ain't winning hockey is because they don't have a hockey team. Like it's literally every LA team right now has been getting it done.
Yep.
I'm still not putting the Rams in my top 5,
I'm not
but
either.
whatever. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
And we're gonna get to that here in a second
I'm
too.
just
By the
saying.
way,
As big as y'all are on, as big
we'll
as
get
y'all
to our
are,
top. We'll get to our top
Yup.
3 here in a
as
second.
much as y'all were talking about the Chicago Bears last week, and the Rams dismantled them the
They
same
did.
way Aaron dismantled the Texans, and you're still not going to give the Rams the credit.
Hell no.
Not at all.
None.
Not at all.
Hiatus and I
Wait.
finished at a A reasonable 8-5, chat. We're tied up at 8-5. Now for power rankings.
If you're not first, you're last. Ricky Bobby.
I went first last week. Lamb went first the previous week. We're gonna try to do a rotation, guys. We're gonna try to do a rotation.
What won first last week? This the first week we doing it. Ain't no previous weeks.
We're gonna do a rotation.
I'm
Shady, my man. I don't think we've ever let you go first in this.
True.
Who you got in your power rankings, man? Who's your top 3?
So at number 3, just I because of the performance, they dropped down from a number 1. I got Pittsburgh. Number 2 is still Kansas City, and number 1 for me is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's the way I see it. Honorable mention for the Rams. They almost made it into the top 5.
Why you laughing?
Almost, but I'm not sold yet. Because I still have the Cardinals over them. I have the Cardinals and 49ers tied for 4th with the Rams. With the Rams kind of in that.
So because the Rams did make your top 5.
These are the no, they didn't.
You said 4th. You said tied for 4th. You said the Rams are in there.
First, second, third. Tied for 4th is 4th and 5th. That leaves the Rams outside at 6th.
Right.
No, he said the Rams are in there. Are the Rams in there or outside of there?
No, they're outside of there because I don't put them over 49ers and the Cardinals.
You don't think the Rams are better?
Not yet. Not yet.
His face.
Okay.
I want to hear this guy's top 3 next then. I gotta hear this one.
For number 3, we're tied between the Bucs and the Rams. Okay, I don't know if the Buccaneers have ever been in my top 3, but I can no longer ignore them. I can't. I can no longer ignore what they've been doing.
It's facts.
They beat the team that beat the defending Super Bowl champs, and they made Aaron Rodgers look like a middle school wiffle ball team. Okay, I can no longer ignore them, but I cannot put them on the same level as my number 2 pick, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and my number 1 pick, the Kansas City Chiefs.
Fair enough.
All right, it's on you, Melvin. It's on you, brother.
My top 3, chat. The way Green Bay played without their top running back, I'm going to put them at 3rd. My 2nd, going with Tampa Bay. I have a tie for 1st between Kansas City and Pittsburgh.
Okay.
The only reason I'm giving a tie is because of the way Pittsburgh played. I can't give them the overall number 1. And Kansas City with the loss against the Raiders, but with the additional signing of Le'Veon and the way they played and the way Highwards-Helaire is still going off, I can't ignore them either, so they're respectively up there right now as well.
I think. So where do y'all put the Rams? Let me ask you this. I just put them below 6th.
I put them at 6.
You put them at 6? Okay. So if I've got the tie for 1 and 2, and then Tampa's at 3 technically, Green Bay would be 4. I've got Seattle at 5. And then I have to agree with Hiatus. You can't ignore Arizona. Arizona's beaten some decent teams so far, and that win against an undefeated team and a very good Seattle Seahawks team, you can't ignore them at all. So I have to agree with Hiatus. I got him at the number 6 slot. I can't have him in my top 5 yet. Like I
Like,
said,
look,
their run game's
let's
too inconsistent.
let's be real, right? So when we had this dispute last week, and we were talking about the Bears, and we were talking about the Rams, can I call back to what Lamb said? Who have they played? Who have the Bears played? They haven't played anybody. This is going to be their first test.
No,
This is the
that's
first
that's
time.
what I said about the Rams. I
You
said the Bears have beat good teams. I said that about the Rams. If you look at the Rams schedule, they really haven't beat anyone up until they beat Chicago. The only thing I
His
will give
face.
to y'all, yeah, the only thing I will give to y'all is Jalen. If I'm thinking about if the Rams play the Cardinals, right? I don't know
Do you
if
recall
Jalen
that,
Ramsey.
Melvy?
I
Yeah, I
don't know
do
if Jalen
recall
Ramsey can
it.
hold D up. I don't know if Jalen
That's
Ramsey
why
can
I was
play
like,
D up.
this guy's face.
Whose face? What?
Shady's.
What happened?
Okay.
That's what I said.
Because we both recall you saying that
Nope.
vice versa, basically, what you
Right.
just said.
Hey, no, play it.
Talk about how
Melvin,
solid
bring up your
the Rams
bring up
were.
your laptop.
You,
Bring up
look,
your
you
laptop
talk about
on
how
stream.
solid the Rams were. Like when you
Bring
was
up your
making your
laptop
point.
on stream. I'll tell you exactly how. I'll tell you exactly how it happened because I have
Oh
a
my
photogenic
God.
memory. Hiatus said,
I
"I'm gonna."
look.
This is what Hiatus said last week when we're talking about the Rams and Bears. This is exactly what he said. He says, "I'm gonna pull a lamb here and let's go to the record. Let's go to the schedule." And he said the Rams haven't played anyone, and I said I agree. I said I agree. The Rams haven't played anyone, and Chicago has beaten some teams. I said the only person that the Rams would have to worry about is one person, and that's the Super Bowl MVP, Nick Foles. I said the Bears have one good player, just one. And if you shut him down, they lose. What happened? Nick Foles was running for his life. They shut their one good player down. Couldn't get the ball to anybody else. Rewatch it. I'll wait.
I'll let him
I'll
have
wait.
I'll let
No,
All
him
you
right.
have
ain't
it.
gonna let him have it.
I'll
You
let
go back.
him
Watch the
have
tape. Thank
Living,
you, Livin.
living don't
Livin,
remember
Livin
nothing.
say he's
He just
backing
playing
him.
devil
Livin
advocate.
say he's
Whatever,
backing him.
bro. Whatever, bro.
Play it back.
Whatever, bro.
I'll hit Melby with that Cam Newton.
Oh my lord.
Play it back. Run my tape back.
Other
Rewind
than that in
footage.
sports news chat, besides Dodgers winning the World Series,
Congrats.
Mookie Betts now has 2 World Series in the last 3 years now because we won it in 2018. Now he's got one in 2020 with the Dodgers.
He's the best player in baseball.
And he deserves his contract. But besides
That's a
the
lot of
factor of that, there really isn't a whole lot of other sports news besides pay-per-view WWE that happened yesterday. I'll let these two above me here touch up on that a little bit. And then we'll let some questions roll in if you guys want to ask us anything. And we'll end up finishing and wrapping
Thank you,
everything
Livin.
up, guys.
My man Livin. First of all, if y'all did not watch that WWE pay-per-view that happened on Sunday, Hell in a Cell, you missed one of the greatest wrestling matches, greatest wrestling performances you will ever see in wrestling. I've been watching wrestling my whole life and I'm already putting it in my top 5. Watch the Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso Hell in a Cell I Quit match. All right? Watch the preamble though too, because they'll give you a quick recap of everything that's been happening over the last month and a half, 2 months between these family members because they all come from the same wrestling family. Right? It is the best storyline in wrestling, which is what I said last week too and the week before. It is the best storyline in wrestling. It's the best thing to happen in wrestling, I would say, low-key, since The Rock versus John Cena, which was also incredible. But this is hands down one of the greatest wrestling feuds, wrestling bouts, wrestling matches, storylines you will ever see. It is that damn good. Okay? No joke. A lot of wrestling is terrible, horrible. I can't stand it. This storyline is so good. This match is so
It
good.
was so good, Chad, it almost
Me.
brought him to tears.
It did. It did. It brought the wrestlers to tears during the match. The wrestlers were actually crying during the match. So I'm sitting over here like, oh no. Oh no. Not me. Not me. Not on Sunday. Not on the Lord's Day. Get the WWE Network, $9.99 a month. You can watch every wrestling program that has ever been, okay? From WCW to ECW. You can go back and watch 80s wrestling. You can watch every single WWE pay-per-view, Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, WrestleManias, all of that. Watch Hell in a Cell from 2 nights ago, okay? It's one of the best matches you will ever see. And I put it up there with the Shawn Michaels matches versus The Undertaker. I put it up there with Razor Ramon's ladder matches. I put it up there with The Rock versus Hulk Hogan. Like, it's up there. It is definitely top 5, y'all. Definitely top 5.
Nice.
So amazing. And the women's, by the way, overall, y'all, in wrestling over the last 2 years, the women have been way more impressive than the men in wrestling.
I agree with that.
The Sasha Banks, Bayley, whether it's Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair, the women have been putting in work. Their matches have been overall way better. I believe WrestleMania, the headline match at WrestleMania was a women's championship match because they're that damn good. And the guys are just, they haven't been performing up to par. I hate to say it. They just haven't. They could be bigger, they could be stronger, but they just haven't been that entertaining. So also at this pay-per-view, this Hell in a Cell, watch the Sasha Banks versus Bayley match for the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. Amazing. Amazing matches. 2 amazing, mind-blowing matches that'll have you like, what the crap is going on? They're amazing. Right, Princess? That's it.
Yeah, she said the Sasha match versus Women's Championship was awesome.
Dude, it was so good. And my son wanted to skip it. Because we watch, here in my family, y'all, we watch all the WWE pay-per-views.
Right.
Even my extended family comes in, right? Because me and my ex aren't together and she has kids in her other relationship. Even her kids come over. You know what I mean? Like, we all watch wrestling, bro. And
That's awesome.
Yeah, my 16-year-old son wanted to skip that match, and I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? I'm like, Bayley is one of the best women's champions I've ever seen. She's a great heel. She's a great villain. You know what I'm saying? And it was a fantastic match. It was so good. I mean, chairs, tables, ladders. They were using everything, bro. Like old school Dudley Boys versus the Hardy Boys. Like they were.
I miss those times so much.
They went all out, bro. Yeah, they went all out, dude. I was impressed. This one pay-per-view is the best pay-per-view I've seen in 2 years. It's better than the WrestleManias I've seen. It's better than the last couple Survivor Series, better than the last couple Elimination Chambers. This was the one. This pay-per-view was the one. I don't know how they're going to top it. I don't know. I feel like they pulled out all their tricks just for this one. I don't know how they can improve upon it. Well, I know. It's my idea. But let's see if they come through. I told Princess on stream what I would have WWE do in this storyline, so we'll see if that happens. We'll see.
Fair enough. Anything else you guys want to add in? Any questions chat wants to ask us or anything like that before we head off and do our thing for the rest of the night, everybody?
Right, Princess? It definitely was.
Best
like
pay-per-view in 2020.
Dude, so good.
It's going to be hard to top it, too, because there's only, 2 left?
Yeah. Well, we still got, I think we got, well, no, Royal Rumble's not till next year.
I don't think so there's only 2 left, I believe.
Yeah. So I don't know how they're going to top it. Survivor Series is up next, but I don't see any match topping it. Unless the Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt The Fiend is any good, which sometimes Randy Orton has very boring matches, but we'll see what happens.
He just won the title, so we'll see.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting. Shady, anything you want to add in, man?
PC plays after this
nope.
hiatus.
Nothing I can think of. This man, he's still on that.
Y'all, just so y'all know, Hiatus never invited me and Melby to play D2 on PC, and me and him both play
Wow.
D2 on PC. And Hiatus says he plays every day, and me and Melby ain't never got an
We
invite.
ain't never been asked, chat.
Wow. That's
Me and
crazy.
Liam come home from work, we grub,
Bro,
and then we're
bro,
like, well,
make some plays.
nothing, so we're just gonna
Nope.
go play our PC, Xbox, and
Yep.
never get invites on PC.
Nope. Never.
That's tough. I don't have words. I can't answer that.
That
Can't answer
Y'all
that.
see, there's no
Can't
denial
answer
though
that,
either, right?
man. I can't answer that.
Y'all see, there's no denial though either, right?
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Who's all on that we're gonna raid tonight, chat?
Oh,
Yeah, I
let's
know.
see.
I'm just giving him shit, JJ. I was telling him that too, that you invited me on Saturday to bed. I think I was about ready to go to bed or something like that, if I remembered right.
Bone is playing Call of Duty.
Yeah, I saw Bones on, Flies on,
Flies on.
and Maze is on. Who
Yeah,
else
that's
is
true,
all on,
Livin.
chat?
Hey, Livin, I'm gonna be making PC plays in about 30 minutes, bro. I know you probably at work, but it's reset day.
Who
I
you
gotta
want,
do
JJ?
some
Who we
stuff.
raiding, man?
JJ, is that true? You never invite Vet? Feels bad, man.
Man,
Oh, preheated
that
zebra.
is
If preheated zebra's on, yeah.
Oh,
That is-
preheated zebras on? I didn't know that.
If yeah, preheated zebra's on. I
do
recommend
not
that.
listen.
Oh yeah, I do have a tab open for him. I sure do.
not listen to Vet
Do not listen to Vet.
at all.
Princess says she's on. Who we rating, guys? Princess or preheated?
You. It's on you.
Oh, don't put it all on me.
I don't see Princess on. I see preheated zebra's on right now.
Princess says
He's
she's
playing
on.
preheated is playing D2. What is your stream, Princess?
Just want to go on record and say the resident
City does
LA.
not deserve another title.
This is-
I would just not that dang. Like I believe the Rams are in the NFC. One of the I believe they're a championship football team. But if
we
in
go.
all major sports California gets all championships, I'm gonna be like,
I'm telling you.
Thank you.
I'm telling you. Right now they are 2 for 2, and it was
Yeah, bro.
the exact
that
same
feels bad.
play out.
Yeah.
4-2.
Same play out.
Bro.
How?
Yeah,
Same
bro,
play out.
that's-
Unfortunately,
gonna
you can't
feel-
get that out of the NFL. It's a 1 game, 1 out. So, I mean, we won't be able to see that. But, like, if we see a complete blowout like we saw with the Denver Broncos and the Carolina Panthers, then we're going to be like, exactly how Lamb does, like,
Yeah, okay.
It's just I believe that the Rams are such a balanced football team. I believe that they could give the Kansas City Chiefs problems. I do. Because Aaron Donald, he's a madman. Y'all don't understand how good this defensive player is. And once y'all put some respect on his name, Hiatus and Melby, y'all will come around. Just watch him. Just watch Aaron Donald. Don't watch Jared Goff, Robert Woods, anyone.
I've been
Just
watching
watch
Aaron Donald my
Dude,
whole
if you
time he's
think-
been in the NFL.
No. If
Oh,
you
yes, I
if you
have.
did, you would see he's better than Khalil Mack. He's better than Nick Bosa.
Oh, no,
Joey
he's better
Bosa,
than all of
he's better
them.
than
I
all
said
of them.
that. But I also said Khalil Mack was going to be an issue, and he was an issue.
All I'm going to say is by week 10, if the Rams are still looking strong, I'm calling Rig.
I agree with that.
How can you call rigged on the Rams though?
Listen, I'm sorry. I'm
Vet's
calling
running
Rig.
a poll, guys. Vet's running a
I'm
poll
calling
on
Rig.
us. What are
They
we
were
voting,
just
Vet?
they were just
Calling Rig.
in the Super Bowl. They were
calling
just
Rig.
in the Super Bowl.
You know how many teams went to the Super Bowl and never returned? That's not a
Yeah,
logical.
do they have the best defensive player in the NFL?
Oh, we
they
had
have
the
a-
best.
do they
We
have
had one of the best defenses, and we still couldn't return the form.
Wait, who's your team?
Panthers.
Look at your quarterback.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. Defense wins championships, and we saw that with
Not
the
with Peyton
Ravens.
Manning. We didn't. We
Listen,
didn't see that
bro.
with Peyton Manning.
And you can't tell me the Broncos didn't have a
We didn't
nice
see that with
defense
New England
at that
Patriots.
time.
They did.
The Broncos had a
This
top
was
5
back when-
defense that year
when
when they
you
won
had
the Super
Yeah,
Bowl.
the problem wasn't the Broncos' defense for the Carolina Panthers. The problem was they have a quarterback who cannot throw the football. If Lamar Jackson makes it to a Super Bowl and plays a team with defense just as good as the Denver Broncos, even though they don't have an MVP candidate player, Lamar Jackson will lose. He will lose because he cannot throw the football. That's just how it is. Teddy
Sorry.
Bridgewater will lose because he cannot throw the football. Dak Prescott will lose because he cannot throw the football as good as other quarterbacks in the league. They got to work on their throw.
As much as you want to defend the Rams, I am calling shenanigans. By week 10,
I do not agree with this guy.
I will call
At all.
shenanigans if it's the Chargers.
The Rams are not going back
Like,
at all.
listen. This makes no sense
Not happening.
in the NFL. In the NFL, you know how hard it is to repeat. The only person
They're not repeating. They didn't go to the Super Bowl last year.
It's hard for teams to make it back outside of Brady, who's been to back or miss a season and go back.
Seattle also went back.
So, did you all see this poll that just happened?
Okay. Who else?
They're both in the modern era. It's
Right.
becoming.
They also
What I'm
have-
saying is,
they
it's happening
also have-
more frequently, isn't it?
They have no, just for those two teams. They have phenomenal coaches. Pete Carroll, Bill Belichick. What are you talking about? And they're and the Rams aren't even in that division. They're in the NFC.
So what you're saying is the
know how
reason why
hard-
the Panthers can't make it back is because y'all's coach was trash. I agree. Y'all's coach was trash.
How about this? How many teams in the NFC repeat?
Hardly any.
They're in the NFC.
They're not repeating. The 49ers went to the Super Bowl. What are you talking about,
How
bro?
many times do
The
you
49ers
see
went to the
a
Super Bowl.
NFC team return to form and go back?
First of all, I'm not saying the Rams are going to go to the Super Bowl. I'm saying if they did, I'm not going to call rigged because they actually have a good
The
team.
last team in the NFC
That's
that
all
went
I'm saying.
back-to-back Super Bowls but didn't win.
Calling shenanigans.
The last team that we saw from the NFC
They are doing
to
it for
go
Kobe.
to the Super Bowl back-to-back years were the Seattle Seahawks when they had the Legion of Doom and Marshawn Lynch was still there. And then they lost the second Super Bowl against the Patriots. That was the last time anybody from the NFC has gone back-to-back to go to the Super Bowl from the NFC.
Vet, where's your poll? Is it on Twitter or is it in chat?
It was in chat.
It was in chat. He was the only one that voted, and then he closed it real quick.
Oh, yeah. Who won? Who won?
So the poll was whether or not you could stay on the podcast, and the responses was no, nah, definitely not. And so
I just want to make this clear. Vet has only been to this podcast 2 times.
yeah,
Can we take roll?
Calling you out, Matt.
Can we take roll? Winzilla has only been here once. Livin has been here every single time. Can we take roll? Can we take roll?
Oh man.
Oh, man.
But yeah, that's all I'm gonna say, man. It just
If the hiatus, I'll agree with you. If the Chargers somehow make it to the damn NFC Championship
it don't
game,
have to be.
then I'm
It
gonna call rigged, bro.
don't have to be the Chargers. The Chargers making it to the finals doesn't give the same emphasis that the LA Rams, being that they're new, coming into being moved from St. Louis, coming to LA, like it makes more sense for them. It's kind of like how Golden State with their new, when they remodeled their stadium and Coliseum, like they are fresh, they're new. They've already gone to a Super Bowl. They didn't win, but they went. Like that's the team you want to go. You're not worried about the Chargers. You're not worried about the Chargers. The Chargers are the Chargers. You want the Rams to go because this is another way for them to spotlight and highlight LA, bro. Like that's I'm not saying that it is because like I would have expected if they were going to do that, then the Rams probably would have been like 6-1.
No, that's too obvious. That's too obvious.
I know, but
you
like
gotta let them creep into the
like,
Super Bowl at 10-6.
But But let's look at the teams. Let's look at the Dodgers. Beasting and feasting this year. Let's look at the Lakers.
They've been
Beasting
good
and
every
feasting.
year, though. The
I,
Dodgers have been
I
good every year.
I know. But listen, when it comes down to when you have a figure such as a Kobe Bryant that goes out
What?
and he passed and they're memorializing him and all that type stuff. Like we talked about it before. That stimulates that's kind of like a gimme for their business. Is like, all right, well, LA teams are probably going to be at the top or at the forefront for this year. It's just funny that it's coming at the expense of every Florida team. Like, I'm not getting that either. Like, all these Florida teams, like, I could literally see a showdown between Tom Brady and the Rams, and then them giving it to the Rams, and then they're winning a championship. Like, literally, how I can see this playing out. Like, it's crazy, bro.
I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, I don't think I'll be shocked either way. I'll be shocked if the Rams actually do make it all the way to the Super Bowl, and I'll also be shocked if they get knocked out of the playoffs in the first round. I'll be shocked either way because the Rams are one of those teams when you look at them play and you look at them on paper, either or could happen. The Saints could bounce them out. The Bucks could. The Packers could bounce them out.
Yeah,
in the first
anybody in
round.
the top 7 spots
how
in
good
that
they are in
NFC can bounce the Rams
Sure.
right now in this spot.
So let me ask y'all this: who is your prediction right now? Your mid-season prediction for the Super Bowl champion?
For a Super Bowl champion?
For a Super Bowl champion.
I can't pick the champion, but I can say that I could see a Kansas City Chief Buccaneer.
Based upon the information that you have now for the first 7 weeks of football, if you had to make a prediction, a free prediction, you had a free shot to win $10 million.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you pick as this year's Super Bowl champion?
The Rams.
The Rams? Shut up. Shut up.
The Rams, sir. The Rams, and I'm safe with that bet because it's a very high possibility that could come to fruition. They're already 2 for 2.
You don't even believe that.
They're already 2 for 2. I can't fight it, bro. I want to fight it, but I can't fight it, bro. I can't fight it. They're 2 for 2, man.
Oh my lord!
What up? You don't even believe that, bro.
Oh man.
Would yours be, Melby?
Yeah,
Who would your pick be?
It'd be the Bucks. Defense wins championships, and they have too much firepower on that offense. They got like 8 weapons they can utilize on that offense.
More and more as the season progresses.
The safe bet is the LA Rams.
That's true.
I have to say the Kansas City Chiefs. If I'm going to pick a Super Bowl champion right now, it would be the Kansas City Chiefs. Next week, that could be a different pick. But right now, like, I have to see the Rams beat the 49ers. I have to see the Rams beat the Seahawks. Like, I have to see them beat a few more teams. You feel me? Like, I have to see them beat a few more teams, and then I'm going to be like, y'all, this team is the truth. They're the truth. I've been saying they're a contender, and they're overall the best balanced team, but they don't have one big old major superstar like Kittle, you know what I mean, who could just pop off at any moment, or Kelsey, or Tyreek Hill. They don't have a DK Metcalf.
But they're doing it for Kobe.
They have a whole bunch of average players working together. Their only superstar is Aaron Donald. So.
They're doing it for Kobe. Enough said.
Now that the Dodgers won this World Series, the Rams are going to come out on the field next game in all 8 and 24 jerseys.
Listen, all I'm going to tell you is, if you happen to see the LA, because this week they got Miami, if you happen to see the LA Rams and they start showing Kobe tributes attached to the Rams. I'm out of here. I'm not doing it. I already know what time it is, bro. I already know what time it is. I told y'all when it came to these Dodgers, when the World Series started, when they started showing Kobe on the sidelines, rooting for the Dodgers and all this type stuff, I'm like, it is going down 4-2. I don't care who they're playing. 4-2 is going to be the outcome. Was I not right? So if I happen to see a montage or any clip in regard, I don't care if they put the number 24 or 8 next to the Rams while this Miami game is going on, I'm done. I'm done. It's the Rams. It's the Rams. They're gonna win it. They're winning it all. They'll instantly go to power ranking top 1, and there's no reason to pick anybody else. Because it's the Rams.
Y'all are witnessing hiatus breakdown live.
Oh my gosh,
this
bro!
Is the breakdown of hiatus.
It is. It is right now.
He's so upset about that.
What? Are you serious? How do you mirror that? How do you mirror it?
Vet apparently says off of your forehead.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, take let me get closer. Because I got a little gleam right here. So you might be able to see into the future in this little spot right here where you see LA Rams future Super Bowl champs. I'm just saying, bro. Oh my gosh.
I'm just saying it would be in the best interest of the NFL, of the National Football League, to have Tom Brady go back to the Super Bowl with a new team in his first year. That's what everybody wants to see.
Yep.
It would be in the NFL's best interest to have Tampa Bay versus Kansas City. That's the Super Bowl I want to see. That's the one I want to watch.
But at the same time, see, this is the part, and I think we've touched on this before. Let's just, and I joke and I kid, but it's a business at the end of the day. The NBA is a business. MLB is a business, and what is good for business is capitalizing on tragedies. That's just what it is. And so whenever you have a tragic situation, if that team is good enough for you to be able to, you ain't got to do no extra, but if you're able to get them to win, that looks good for the league. That looks good for that city because it's going to generate money for that city because they now are considered the city of champions. They can sell it and spend it however they want. This is like the best way for them to memorialize Kobe and all of his, out of work thing. Like, bro, when you look at it from a business aspect, you gotta pick LA. It's like going into the freaking casino, bet on red. Like, like it is literally almost like a done deal. Now you can't say that that's what's going to happen because, again, the NFL is so different than MLB and NBA when it comes to, their higher ups and how they do stuff. But I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised at all.
Man, I don't think the NFL considers Kobe Bryant's death as a tragedy. I don't know if the NFL even cares. The NFL has so much money, they don't give a crap what any other sport does for any reason.
Right, but also remember that the NFL part owner with Jay-Z and Jay-Z and Kobe. I'm just saying, like, I gotta throw a spade, bro. Like, there is influence there. There is influence there. We can't act like it ain't.
I still think the best interest of the NFL is to see Patrick Mahomes, who's the face of the league now.
Yo, I love y'all as well, man.
And then Tom Brady go with the Bucks.
I love y'all as well. One time for Mr. Clean. Let me drop it for you. All day. Let's get it.
Clean, Mr. Clean.
Oh, man. That's dope. All right, guys. I think that's going to wrap it up for us today. We had an amazing podcast. Appreciate everyone for stopping by today. We love having everyone up in here every time. Appreciate everybody. Love
Big
seeing the new faces in here every week as well. Love seeing new people showing up every week. Much appreciated, guys. It's growing bigger and bigger every time we start this and
That's
continue
what she said.
this. Oh my
Extendo.
wow. But much appreciated, guys. Like, much love. Can't ask for much more than anything else than you guys stopping in and dropping in and showing the love and support for everything is much appreciated. We're going to go take JJ's rave request. We're going to hit up some preheated zebra. Make sure you throw those emotes up in chat, guys. We'll see you guys Saturday for podcasts sometime around the same time. And we'll see you guys then. Much appreciated, guys. Thank you.
Peace, peace.
Peace. Titans up. Add us on PC. Invite me and Melby to some